What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. For today's video I'm going to be doing a Black Widow movie review. I got a chance to see the movie twice already. Gotta say right out of the gate, phenomenal movie. Everybody go check it out. If you haven't checked it out while you're watching this video, go watch the movie and then come back. But I'm going to be talking about specific things that I thought the movie did really well, certain things that I liked, the successes, the failures, or the things that I thought didn't do so well for me. And then I have my top 3 questions. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So for success number 1, big shout out to Scarlett Johansson. She finally got the spotlight on her. I thought this movie really showcased everything that we haven't been able to see in all the Avengers movies and all the other movies that she's been featured in. One, she just showed the audience that she's not really the weakest Avenger in the sense, like, yeah, she's just a human. She doesn't have super strength, or she isn't like a god like Thor is, but at the end of the day, she's willing to risk it all on the line. And obviously, like she does in Avengers Endgame, she's willing to take the sacrifice to really save the team and is a legitimate true hero. So I absolutely love the fact that she finally got her movie out. I've been waiting for it to come out in theaters. I knew that I didn't want to see it on Disney Plus because I wanted her to get that, box office appearance. And yeah, not much else I can say about that other than, shout out to Scarlett Johansson and everything she's done as Black Widow. So with that, let's move down to success number 2. So for number 2, it revolves around her origin story. I didn't really get a chance to focus in on this the first time I watched it, but the second time I went to go watch it with my little brother, I really focused on that opening scene where they had the cover of Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit, and all the girls are being captured, taken away into the Red Room program, and then they grow up to be these crazy assassins. And it just had me thinking, like, Black Widow probably had one of the worst or like gruesome backstories within the MCU. Obviously, Thor's is up there, especially going into Avengers Endgame when he lost just about everybody. But Black Widow, I mean, she was kidnapped into the Red Room organization at an age before she was even 6 years old. As David Hopper's character, Alexei, says, you were even younger when they first took you. She went through all of that stuff and then became this crazy assassin, has killed many people or whatever, and then she had to live with all that guilt, and then on top of that become an Avenger and do all these things positively, and then eventually sacrifice herself for the greater of everybody. So she's a trooper. She's a true Avenger, I'll tell you that for sure. But I was glad that they were able to showcase that in this movie. So with that, let's move down to number 3. Number 3 for me, big shout out to the stunt choreography or fight choreography, whoever was in charge of that, because this movie, unlike anything else, I feel like had one of the best stunts and fight choreography sequences. Like, for example, the fight scene with Taskmaster on the bridge, and then the fight scene with Yelena versus Black Widow when they're in the Budapest little safe house or whatever. Like, that shit looked like it hurt, and for both of those girls to just take it on the chin and keep fighting and keep going, yeah, they did a good job with the sequences in here. And it reminded me of like Captain America, the Winter Soldier, when they're fighting on the bridge scene and Bucky's using all these different fight techniques and everything, and it was just really well done. So big shout out to them. With that, let's move down to success number 4. For success number 4, it really comes down to my girl Yelena. I think she damn near almost stole the show. She was a great supporting character to Black Widow's seriousness. She was really good at having those comedic relief moments, and then I thought she was just a really well-developed character where we got her backstory, we saw her progress throughout the movie, and we can definitely see her coming back into another MCU project, whether it be Thunderbolts like we saw in the post-credit scene, or maybe she'll try to join the Avengers and try to take on the mantle and really do good for the sake of her sister, Natasha. So, Florence, keep it up, baby. You're doing a good job over there. So let's move down to number 5. Success number 5. Basically, I kind of spoke about it a little bit with the origin story and all the backstory that we got from Black Widow, but I thought this movie was a good tail end to Black Widow's character. I know when I saw the movie with my little brother, he was like, now I'm mad that they killed her off because this movie was really good and he really liked like the fight sequences and stuff. But overall, I think the way she ended her storyline in Avengers Endgame and then for them to put this movie out really closed the gap and all the stuff that we missed in between, with the red on her ledger, the events at Budapest, her really trying to redeem herself, and then her sacrifice was because of all these events that she did in this movie, making her realize, I feel like I lived a good life, I'm willing to sacrifice myself, and now, finally rest after all the things that I've done, whether good or bad. So with that, we got to move down to the failures, unfortunately. For number 1 thing that really irked me was Red Guardian. I felt like he was a huge dud. I know I was really excited to see him, especially knowing that he had a form of the Super Soldier Serum. Opening scene, we see him flip that like metal tank over, and then you can tell he's strong, but he just wasn't showcased properly. I feel like he didn't have any fight sequence other than the one with Taskmaster, and after watching it the second time, I don't even think he landed one punch. Like, Taskmaster swept the floor with his ass. So, I mean, is Red Guardian really any good, or was he just there for also another comedic relief? I don't know. Based on what he showed in this movie, I'm not too worried about seeing him in the future. I don't think he has much to offer. So, that was my first thing. Let's move down to number 2. For number 2, it is about Taskmaster's origin. I personally didn't care that it was Dreykov's daughter. I thought that was like a good, unique twist, especially considering Black Widow thought she killed her, and then ended up not that happening how she thought it went down. But I'm not a fan that Taskmaster's abilities and his powers come from the suit. At least that's what it looks like. I could be wrong. Maybe Dreykov's daughter just learned to mimic something, or the chip that he put in her neck like enhanced her to another level or some shit. But I would have preferred it be a little bit more comic book accurate, where the actual character, that's their physical ability, that's their superpower, the ability to mimic anybody's fight patterns or sequences, versus like an AI system reading and scanning the enemy and then knowing what to do next. That's just me, just because I feel like then anybody could just throw the suit on and then become the next Taskmaster. I would have preferred it to stick with one person, be as badass as they were, like the bridge scene or even the scene in Budapest. But who knows? We'll see. I guess we'll have to see the next time we see Taskmaster and how it goes from there. And then moving down to number 3, probably my biggest disappointment. There was no freaking Red Hulk again. Ladies and gentlemen, I am officially retiring the Red Hulk train. I'm off of that shit. This is my 5th time trying to predict his appearance, and it's just not going my way. Even my boy CG over at Cam for All, he commented on my last video saying that Red Hulk is nowhere to be found, and it's going to be Val at the end of the movie, or at the credit scene, that recruits Yelena, and that's exactly what happened. I'm just a little disappointed. I'm not upset. I'm salty though, because I really wanted to see Red Hulk. I know I've been talking about it. I just want to see my man make a cameo as Red Hulk. I don't even care if they kill him off right away. I feel like they're doing his character a disservice. But without getting more salty, I'm just gonna keep the video going, and we'll go down to the top 3 questions I have for the ending of Black Widow. So let's get right into it. So question number 1. And it kind of leads into my next 2 questions, but question number 1 is, who do you think out of the Black Widow family, either Alexei, Melina, or Yelena, was snapped during the events of Infinity War? When Thanos snapped, which one of them got blipped? So part of me, a little theory I was having, leads into the next question, which is, how long has Yelena been working for Val? So if I connect both question 1 and 2, then I would say Yelena didn't get snapped. She didn't get snapped when Thanos erased half of all of existence, because she's been working for Val, she's been doing jobs. But then I feel like that contradicts all the events that happened in Endgame, because Black Widow felt like she was alone, especially if she had these events happen before Infinity War. I feel like Yelena would have reached out to her and said, you know, let's work on things together, blah, blah, blah. So a part of me wants to say Yelena hasn't been snapped, or didn't get snapped, because the entire time she was working for Val. But then a part of me also wants to say that she did get snapped, because I don't think she would have wanted to work for Val had she known, you know, all the stuff that Black Widow was going through. So it's kind of a little bit of a contradiction, but let me know what you guys think. I still think all of them got snapped, except maybe you could say Red Hulk or Red Guardian didn't get snapped, and he was doing some other shit, maybe losing weight, becoming the Red Guardian that he wanted to be. So who knows? And then let's move down to my third question. So my third question is, who else has Val potentially recruited off the screen that we don't know of? We already know that she has recruited Yelena, and Yelena has already had some form of missions for her. We don't know what those missions are, or who she was sent out to assassinate, or, you know, whatever. But she also has recruited U.S. agent / Captain America John Walker, as we saw in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So my question, obviously, for you guys, who else do you think she recruited? I'm thinking she could have probably got Zemo out of the raft by now, or maybe even Ghost, somebody who has like different forms of abilities. Because as of right now, she just has 2 pound for pound excellent fighters. She has John Walker, who's a good fighter, obviously because he has the serum. So she has her super soldier. She has her assassin / Black Widow. You know, she needs a tacticianer, somebody like Zemo, or she needs somebody who has like special powers, somebody like Ghost, maybe Taskmaster. Who knows? But let me know who else you guys think that Val has recruited, and when do you think we'll see them all, you know, form a team together, or is it strictly on an individual character basis? Who knows? But let me know what you guys thought overall about the movie. Personally, I'd give it like a solid 9 out of 10. I'd give it a 10 out of 10 if I got a chance to see my boy Red Hulk in there, but you know, I gotta let the salt burn. Overall, I loved it. I just finished watching the finale of Loki, so I got a video coming out for that. That was also mind-blowing, so keep an eye out for that. As always, you can best support the channel by leaving a like, subscribing, and sharing with your friends so we can keep the conversation going. If you want to personally chat with me, you can follow me at Mr. Jalapeno13 on Instagram and hit me up with any questions you guys have, whether about the movie, about Loki, any Marvel content, or even DC content. I know we're just low on that stuff right now, but I'm still a fan. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Take care.